It is 5:29 p.m. Wednesday, February 12th, 20 and the 25. You know which calendar? The Mayan calendar. Here in the snowy, frozen tundra farm fields of Valparaiso, Indiana. First things first. Okay. Got a new high there, 2791. 2791. Okay, lock it in. Got to lock it in because I redeemed $50,000. When was that? Last month or was that December? I don't even know. Time flies when you're having fun. Bought a bunch of physical silver, and I'm on the cusp. On the cusp of another deal. Okay, I got a response. Okay, I'll let you know. We're literally $60 apart. We're $60 apart and a large physical purchase. So I may be redeeming another $25,000 from the account to buy another load of silver bars. But I've nearly had deals with this gentleman before, and I think what it is like he'll throw stuff out there, and then when I want to move it along, I think he gets fearful, like, oh, I don't want to let it go. I've dealt with that before, especially with baseball cards. It's like, I want to sell. Okay, I'm ready to buy. Let's work a deal. Then we get close, or even like, I'll even do your number. Then they're like, I don't know. I better keep it. They're back off. So we'll see. Nothing may come of it, but I am very interested in this deal because currently spot is at 32.22 as we speak, and he wants to sell me 400 ounces, first tranche 400 ounces at 30.15. And I said, let's do it at 30 and I'll double the order. Hello, because I know he has a bunch of silver. He's been hoarding it and stacking it for over a decade. And between me and you, he may need the cash. I know. That shouldn't affect the value that I put on the silver, but come on, we're $60 away from a big deal. Let's do it. Enough of that. Let's get to the getting. What went on today? Let's look at. I did 3 purchases, but they were all the same product. Don't look too closely at that little patch job I have on the wall. If you remember, I used to have an enormous whiteboard on the back wall, and I would write all my real estate stuff on there and my goals and my quotes that I enjoyed, all of that stuff. Yanked that thing down recently, patched up the wall, gonna get it painted soon. Just added that beautiful bookcase there. I'm gonna fill it with amazing bars of silver and Ricky Henderson rookie cards. I've been on a rampage. Here's one. I've got an offer going on here. I offered 300. They came back at 330, and I'm going to respond at 310. I may go to 315. This is Beckett, which is a grading company, formerly a very well-known and respected grading company. Had a little, Dr. Beckett sold years ago. Then recently, the most recent owner of Beckett sold again. Hoping the new owner is going to do things to revive. Hey, outbid. Don't you dare tell me that. So I'll probably go to 310 on the next offer. I've already sidetracked. I like to save this stuff to the end. So let's go back. That way you can tune out if you don't want to hear about baseball cards. So you saw the 3 purchases. You know what I do? I like to get in early, $39.79 on TMF. But considering that I sold at $43.30 recently after battling, being down 67,000 and then selling for nearly a $12,000 profit. Take that every day of the week, twice on Sunday. Bought another tranche at $39.58 and another at $39.54. I've got an average of $39.64, and currently, as we speak, TMF is at $39.60. So I'm a little bit under, what is that, 80 some dollars, $80? Yeah, $80.30 underwater. Whoa. It doesn't seem right. Why does AGQ say it's up 80,000? Well, we've got calls on the board though, if you recall, at 41.50. Thought I was going to keep those shares without having to roll them or buy them closed. At the moment, I am incorrect, which then also means, okay, so one, there's our position down about 15% on those calls. The TMF puts, I'm down 68%. That percentage seems insane because TMF, like we just talked about, selling at 39.60. So I'm not overly concerned because you know what I just bought at. I'll take another 2,000 shares at 39 at the moment. Not if it continues to go down. We'll look at the charts in just a moment. 39 puts. These were buys, so that is a lotto. That is a bunch of scratch off tickets, down 60%. Still, I'm still fine with it because I've got until March 21st. There's going to be a pullback. I'm not sure today's pullback is done. It had another little run up today, and then it came down a reasonable amount, but it's trying to get away from me. We've got the GLD 245s up 15 grand, SLV 26s. That's a gold ETF. This is a silver ETF. This is a strike price, the $26 strike. That essentially means the stock price is what I'm banking on, it being much higher than that when I decide to sell. You've heard my goals on this. My goal is 75,000. It's currently up 35,000, but only 12.5%. This one's at 13.5, but see, there's 600 contracts here, 100 contracts at 25. If this at 50% is when I'll begin considering taking the profit there. 27 calls, which cost way less because, of the strike price, still 1,000 under, but way better than it was. And then the 28s, 1,900 under, way better than it was. Bitcoin making a comeback. We'll look at that in a moment. And there's our only two positions, 13,000 shares of AGQ, which are all covered. All those shares are covered at 41.50. So I'll be managing that. Tomorrow is already Thursday. Hard to believe, but you know how time does when you're having fun. Indeed. Okay, where are we at? Charted up. Did we get all the B? I think so. Would I want a little pullback tomorrow to allow me to either buy those calls closed or find a reasonable roll? We'll see, but I'm not planning to let those go this week because I think we're on the cusp. We are on the cusp of some real good stuff. Silver futures looking to take out 33, and then resistance becomes support. So that's going to take a lot because those fraudsters, those banksters, that cartel, man, they are setting themselves up for some real pain. Still don't have this thing charted, do I? What's wrong with you? We'll get that going. GDX still just playing with my emotions. Filled this first gap and then just busted right back up. So here's our little downturn. But look what it did after that. Went right back up. It's very resilient. Same with the GLD. Very resilient. USO is just still has me perplexed. So what this is what I'm looking for currently between you and I. And maybe it doesn't make sense, but because we were supposed to pivot here, we did pivot. So is this just, am I going to get a lower low? If I get a lower low, then I'm going to be very interested in a position in USO, oil in general. I'll use the 2 times UCO to make that trade if I do it. But right now, I'm just currently not, I just don't think we have a probable setup in the oil. I thought I had it here, but look what we did. We almost retraced the whole gain. So if this goes lower again, because you see where major support is through here. I don't think it's going under. I mean, it could touch. If it touches in the 69s, you'll probably see me make a trade. TLT, come on, man. Killing me, Smalls. Did this target box get reached here? It really didn't. So where were we at? Like 90.22, targets at 90.44. It's still going there. It just, man, it's really, oh, this thing's blown up. This thing's blown up. Let's get rid of all that graffiti. Clean this up. Let's go. What is this? 2 hour? Let me get very minute. Let's go here. 1 minute. And then I'm going to try to work on this. I won't do it tonight because Lady is brewing up a beautiful dinner for us. And then we'll be watching some of our great shows. Probably a little bit of voice. I think there was an episode recorded yesterday. And a couple shows we're really enjoying. One is just lost the name of it. Just had it on the tip of my tongue. It's on Apple, and it is Shrinking. Is that what it's called? Shrinking? Yeah, Shrinking. Check that out. If you have Apple, watch that. That show's really good. Very light. They're like a half hour or less episodes. Loving it. We're now on season 2 of Shrinking. So check that out. Here's our 20-year bond yields, which is an inverse of our TLT. And you see when the CPI numbers came out hot, I mean, come on. It came out at 3% and expected was 2.9. And it just went zippity-doo-dah. Because why? Well, if inflation's hot, then we're definitely not lowering rates anytime soon. And we really want those rates lowered. I'm going to work on this. I just got a very small picture here that I'm going to try to work on. I'm not going to concentrate on this. Well, I should say you know what I like to do on TMF is gap fill. So we get that gap in the next day or two. I'm going to be like loving every minute of it. I'll be buying even more physical silver. All right, I put this on and I know you'll believe me because I'm trustworthy. And I put this on earlier today. This may have been pre-market. I put on this count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look what it did. Almost to perfection. Just have to move it over just a bit. How far did we go? Right there. Barely. And now I want this 5, working on this 5. Trying to get it. Of one. Meaning this thing will have a little correction once we get 5. Looking at 98,000 plus, unless something wacky happens, and then we'll have a little 3-wave correction. If it is indeed corrective, then I'll be looking for a leverage long on Bitcoin. But Bitcoin's been, it's perplexing all the time, but this setup looked pretty good, but I want to validate. So the best way to validate, because this is micro, 1 day, 1 minute, micro. The best way to validate in Elliott wave theory is to find 5 up and then 3 down as corrective. Then you've got your 1, 2 in place. You can measure that at 0 and 100. And then your extensions will tell you where wave 3 should go. And that becomes the most probable trade in Elliott wave theory. Put those bands on, as you know, and it broke down, and now it's broken out. It's above the moving average. It's outside of the Bollinger Band, so that will spread the bands. And then we'll see. Will we get that 98 that we're calling for? Then the 3-wave corrective pullback. And if so, let's do it. This one doesn't show you that incredibly ugly red candle that we're about to see. So that is right when the CPI numbers came out, and I showed this. It was just when it first happened, and I flashed my computer over to Lady, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's not your account, is it?" I go, "No, that's everyone else's account." All right, so that's what's happening here on a Wednesday early evening. Hope you're doing well. Checking in with you, my new best friend in options, swing trading, chart busting, technical analysis, Elliott wave theory, Fibonacci, trend trading, etc. Your new best friend in all of those things. Like, subscribe, comment, share this video and this channel with a lovable friend, and I will see you in the next video.